Welcome to Relevant Marketing. I'm Brandon. It's a beautiful Saturday outside, and I'm inside making this video for you because I care. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the different kinds of marketing professionals that you might hire to come and help you out with something that you're working on. So first, let me tell you a little bit about what I do and the problem that's in the industry with naming all the different roles and understanding who does what. I work in a marketing department in a company, a Canadian company with locations across Canada. And I support all of the stores for this company. But I am not really a marketer. Well, I kind of am, but I'm kind of not. My diploma is actually a design diploma. So I am a graphic designer and I specialize in print. Now this is important because there are two kinds of graphic designers, and if you mix them up, what you'll get, if you use them the wrong way, are not optimal results, let's say. Now there are of course designers that are jack of all trades, and don't let me exclude these people, but I would say that good ones are very, very rare. Usually what you find is people who are more comfortable working in one medium or another. Now, when I say that I'm a print designer, what that means is I know how to go and build things that happen on paper, that happen on big billboards, that happen in the physical world. And I know how to get the most out of a printing company. I know how to cut really wild shapes and glue them together to make crazy looking packaging. And I know how to make giant files for billboards. I know how to get them installed on billboards. I know who to talk to for that kind of thing. And that's where my circle of people are. My professional circle revolves around physically producing product. And I can do that extremely efficiently for any company. Now, web designers specialize in creating artwork for online mediums, so banners on a website or redesigning your website. That's what they do extremely well. Their professional circle revolves around people who build for the web. They understand a little bit more of coding, and they know what colors work well and what things you can't do online, and they'll tell you how to generally optimize so that everything works very, very smoothly in a web environment. If you asked a web designer to produce something on a printing press with a printing company, they might have to start at the ground level. They may be able to do it, but it's not going to be the efficient process as working with somebody like me who does mostly print stuff, and I can, dial 3 or 4 numbers and have the right people doing the right things immediately. So here's another fun thing to wrap your head around. You might think, I have to build my nice complex website for my company and I wanted to have all this functionality. What I will do is I will hire a web designer. And you might be right, depending on how much complexity there is. But if you actually have some pretty heavy stuff going on, then what you might actually need is somebody entirely different. And that person is called a web developer. And web developers tend to be more about the code and less creative. So your designer will give you a beautiful looking site and phenomenal architecture that is super easy to use and supports all of your image content, all of your content in a very professional way. But underneath that, the bones of your site, the foundation, the code, that's web development land, and those people are they're the nerds. They have the taped up glasses, and they go in and they build the mechanical part of the site. They write in HTML, they write in CSS, they understand how to manipulate the language of the internet. They are programmers, for lack of a better word. But if you were to hire one to build the visual aesthetic of your site, what you're going to find is that your visual aesthetic is going to be maybe not all that appealing. It'll be very mechanical because these people are extremely mathematically minded. They're very programmy. Now, it's not to say that there's never any overlap, because I have met people that have a brilliant sense of design and also have fallen in love with coding. But I find it's rare because the type of mind that makes you very creative is not very conducive to sitting around and writing thousands of lines of code. I can tell you that it would be like torturing me and possibly a human rights abuse in my case. So you're probably thinking, great, I now know who works in my marketing department. I have designers and I have developers, and they work together and they sell my company, they sell my product. And I'm sorry to say that that's not right at all. Marketing is actually a whole other field again. So marketing, which is half of my job, marketing is the art of building frameworks that are supporting all of the numbers that come in. So I try and find out how to measure as many things as I can about our advertising. I measure how many impressions went out and how many people responded and a million other things. Who viewed my website, how long did they stay, where did they go afterwards. I try and figure out who is the actual market for the products that we sell. Am I selling to a 6-year-old kid, or am I selling to a 65-year-old retiree? Because those two people do not communicate in the same way. Same amount of tantrums, but not the same way. And that's marketing. Marketing is the art of collecting numbers, collecting data, and analyzing data, and then you come up with strategy from that data, and then you say, okay, here's what we want to do, and you move it down the line to your designers, your really creative type, and those are the guys that then brainstorm the brilliant concepts. So then you've got your brilliant conceptualizers building all this beautiful artwork, and they walk down the line again and they talk to the coders and they say, here's what we got, you know, or the printers, is, you know, it depends. They're production people at the very bottom, right? So you've got people building it for the website now, making it work, or you've got people that are physically printing it. So that's the hierarchy. Marketing is the art of tracking numbers and making surveys and finding out the real questions sometimes that you need to ask so that you can get better answers, so that you can make better content. Marketing gives those numbers to design. Design comes up with the creative that fulfills the need, and then design passes it down to developers or printers who then produce it so that it comes out brilliantly produced or smoothly programmed so that it's all very functional. And all of that tends to be lumped under the name of marketing. And I have to admit that if I go online and I look at job postings, you can be called a million different things, and they will all be referring to some aspect of that. They'll be, you know, I'm looking for a marketer, I'm looking for a designer, I'm looking for an advertiser. Advertiser's a great one. I don't think there's anybody who's actually an advertiser. Those people tend to be the reps who come to us actually and try to sell us advertising. They advertise because they have a magazine which advertisements go in, but they don't produce advertisements necessarily. So it's a very messed up industry to have a job in, because you have these people that really you don't know. So I'm hoping now you do know, right? Now we've talked about it. Now you should know that what a marketer does. Marketers are numbers. Designers are creative in, you know, either of their fields, print or web. And then programmers, obviously they program, and printers print. And there you go. That's the whole tree. And it starts off very numbers and analytical, and it gets very creative in the middle, and then it finishes up again with very technical people. And now, hopefully, after this video, you know who to hire, or at least the name to put in your advertisement, in your job posting. Thanks for sticking around. This is the second video in the Relevant Marketing series. I'm Brandon, and let's meet back here in a couple of days and do it all again.